All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be talking Bitcoin, why I think the technicals are aligning. Then we're going to talk about the fundamentals, the thesis behind Bitcoin, as well as, proper risk management and asset allocation. All right, that being said, welcome back, everyone. I am lead trainer with StocksToTrade, Tim Bohen. Going back to, just in review, we'll link it below. I mean, it's an old video, November 11th. 2020. Listen, obviously Bitcoin is pulled way back from the 60,000 high, but if you will link this video, grab it below. Late 2020, I called the Bitcoin bounce. Listen, you can see on the screen, Bitcoin was at 15,000 at the point I said it. Okay, so way above the kind of the $3,000 lows about a year before that, or two years. Time flies. Anyway, so you could say, hey, you were really late, but at the end of the day, I told you needed to have some Bitcoin then. Bitcoin went to 60,000. Yes, it's pulled back to 25,000, but that's still almost a doubler, close, 14,000 to today, 24,000. So ultimately the call was there, and I'm just kind of revisiting what I think has changed since then. So I'm going to get it. Actually, let's start with the technicals, okay? And then I'm going to get into kind of a little bit more of the thesis behind this idea. And so what I see when we go to the technicals is basically we got a nice basing action along with kind of almost a flag really forming. So you can see this base down here, 19,000. And then we've got this building higher lows. Okay, that is a bullish basing type idea, and then you can get basically an ascending wedge on the technicals. So the nice thing is you can see that basically that 18.5 area was support 1, 2, 3 times ever since it made that triple bottom. Remember, triple tops, triple bottoms, very repeatable patterns. We see a lot of this. For whatever reason, just the triple tops, triple bottoms, when you're talking whether it be resistance on a stock that can't break out, or again, a stock that's basing. And then again, you can see in the basically this month, all of August, you've got this nice gradually upturn trending. Now we are bumping into that resistance at 24 and even 25K, remember, I like to round to the whole dollar, half dollar areas. So, yes, 24K has been resistance, but 25K is going to be that big break that I think once 25 breaks, that's that whole dollar, half dollar key level. So you've got the technicals aligning for a bounce here. Next, let's talk about the thesis. I think I said fundamentals earlier. Ultimately, there are no fundamentals in Bitcoin. I mean, it's value, it's confidence. Okay, it's like the U.S. dollar. Okay, if people are confident in it, it's strong. It's gold. Okay, I mean, it's digital gold. If people believe in gold, the value goes up. If people decide gold is worthless, the value is going to crater. Okay, but the thesis. So where we are, it is late summer 2022. And as always, I always say it 3 times. Because remember, this is how Candyman gets summoned, okay? That's an old reference. I think they're redoing Candyman, aren't they? A movie from my youth, okay? Anyway, I say it 3 times. We don't talk politics. We don't talk politics. We don't talk politics. Partisan politics, okay? Ultimately, we will occasionally discuss politics when there is a trade opportunity. Green New Deal, good example. Some solar stocks have been perking up lately based on the looks like the pass of the Green New Deal. So we don't talk partisan politics. So when I say this, there is an extreme distrust in institutions right now. Okay, whether it be the Fed, whether it be the DOJ, whether it be Congress, whether it be the White House, whether it be almost any, in my opinion, and I think the polls reflect this, in my lifetime, I don't ever recall a lower level of confidence in, these public institutions. Not, again, the Fed, okay? I mean, you look at inflation, exploding inflation. That's created by the Fed, okay? When they print more money, there's a great Milton Friedman quote that's gone viral lately. He's like, and again, whether you agree with Milton or don't, I'm a fan myself. He's like, nobody creates inflation but governments, okay? And, and then you look at insider trading in Congress. I mean, it's rampant. It's legal. We allow it to be legal. In all of these, spending bills and sending money to fund wars and all of these things, again, you don't have to disagree with any of these ideas that I've talked about. Maybe you support some of them. Maybe you support money printing. I don't know why you would, but maybe you do. Maybe you support funding, sending foreign aid all over the world when we've got a million problems at home. We've got poverty at home. We've got, crime at home. We've got inflation at home. We've got unemployment at home. So you don't have to necessarily, again, agree with my philosophy. But again, I don't think there's ever been lower confidence in public institutions. And I think that is being reflected in Bitcoin starting to grind higher this summer. There's just, people are like, I don't want to believe in the banks. I mean, look at 2008, 2009, okay? I mean, there's one I forgot. Housing prices pulling back hard right now. Mortgage rates going up, okay? Now people are worried about the housing market. For the last decade, flat out, especially the last 5 years, one of the best, safest investments the last 5 years would have been your home. I mean, go to your Zillow and look up your house. You might be very surprised at even now with a little bit of a pullback. So now people are concerned about the housing market too. Now people are concerned about the banks. So that's the thesis behind the technical grind up here. So as with any trade idea, you have to take in the whole package. I mean, again, a lot of people struggle with trading because they just do random stuff, okay? They buy tickers from some guy in some chat room, some guy on Twitter, some bald screaming dude on TV, okay? They make a lot of poor decisions because they don't factor everything into it, okay? And then I think once you combine those two things, an uncertain world and a distrust of institutions, plus a very nice chart pattern here, I think this is where you should, if you didn't listen to me back in 2020, I think this is the time to start looking to dip your toes into some Bitcoin. Now, last point I will make, don't make the terrible decision that so many made in 2020, okay? Just Google proper asset allocation, okay? That's all, just Google it, okay? I mean, there's a bunch of articles. Here's a nice little just pie chart, okay? Listen, understand that, again, as much as I like the technicals, as much as I like the thesis behind crypto is volatile, okay? And what so many people, the mistake people made, they started thinking of Bitcoin, all the cryptos, as a get-rich-quick ticket, I'll buy it today and I'll sell it next week and I'll buy a Lambo. No, that's not how now listen, you can do whatever you want, okay? I consider Bitcoin an asset that you should scale into over time. And I personally think, and again, make your own decisions, but I think everyone should have exposure to Bitcoin. All the other, maybe Ethereum, okay? All the other altcoins and shit coins, it's over for them, okay? And ultimately the market ruined them. So be smart, okay? Again, just do some basic Googling, read a couple articles, determine your risk, think about what happens if it goes wrong, okay? Much like in penny stocks, people see the dollar signs, but they never think about what happens if it goes wrong, okay? What happens if Bitcoin pulls back and breaks 18,000? Hey, what happens? What do? Are you adding to the dip? Are you stopping out? Are you doing nothing? Okay? All valid approaches, but you need to determine those approaches in your plan before you press that buy button. Okay? Are you like, hey, I like what Tim's saying here, but I'm holding long term and I don't really care what the price does. I think that's not the wisest approach, but at least you have a plan. At least you have said in advance, this is what most do. And this happens every day in penny stocks. People are like, oh, I'm going to buy this crappy penny stock because it's up, 50%. And yesterday one went up 500%. And I'll sell when I'm up $100 or I'm up $1,000. Well, they don't think about what if it doesn't work, okay? Then it doesn't work. It pulls back. And then they start justifying. Then they start drawing all over the screen and Googling for tips because they didn't plan for the contingency. Well, it's not even a contingency. That's what drives me nuts. What's your contingency? No, you don't enter any speculative any asset. You don't buy. We don't buy a house. You don't go and like put a bid on a house without doing an inspection. What if the inspection fails? Okay. What if there's termites? Okay. Those are all things that people do in the real world, but people lose their minds in penny stocks, lose their minds in cryptocurrency. Okay. So that being said, drop me a link below. What do you think? You can dip into some Bitcoin. And did you listen last time? Again, what was it? October 20, what did I say? 2020? So November 2020. So again, if you scaled in, you're probably looking pretty good. So, all right. Speaking of asset allocation, speaking of risk management, speaking of trade plans, okay, click the link below. Check out the StocksToTrade team. It's a mentorship program. Every single day, we go over this. We go over how to make a trade plan, how to chart things, how to build a trade thesis, how to do research, how to draw lines, how to locate chart patterns. It's an immersive mentorship program, 2 to 3 webinars a day, every single day. Check it out. It's the best way to learn how to trade anything. Crypto, penny stocks, real stocks, ETFs, etc. So check out the StocksToTrade team, and we'll see you next time.